Well, I apologize. It's been a while since I made a video involving this Jeep. I got real busy with side work there. So it's done. There's just a couple of stupid little odds and ends I gotta button up, but I've been driving it and probably 1,500 miles or so. Yeah, the harness is all loomed up with that Chinese finger trap stuff. Looks really good. We just used an exhaust pipe for the intake. Works fine. 2 Cherokee electric fans with the Novak radiator, which is a beautiful piece of hardware, by the way. Yeah, it's been running great. It gets, if I can keep my foot out of it, I can get over 20-mile-a-gallon highway now. So, I mean, obviously it's really hard for me to keep my foot out of it, but and just tons of power. Like, it's just unreal. You just can't keep the rear tires underneath this thing. It's crazy fun to drive now. Just as much on the road as off the road. It's like driving a damn sports car on the road. A sports car that handles like shit. So you got all the original gauges working. The water temp was just the Jeep sender with an adapter into the motor. Same with the oil sender. And it's got the original fuel sender, original fuel pump, so that's obviously still works. And the voltmeter, obviously no big deal there. The tachometer is coming from the signal wire from the LS PCM. It's not calibrated right now. It's reading double what it's supposed to. So that was supposed to get the speed output was supposed to get adjusted for this tachometer, but the guy overlooked it. But he did get he corrected the vehicle speed output is, I believe, normally 4,000 pulse per mile out from the PCM, and he bumped it up to 8,000 because that's what this speedometer was calibrated for. And you have your Dakota Digital little speed buffer gizmo here that sends power, and then the 2 signal wires out to the original Chrysler vehicle speed sensor on the 231, and then it amplifies the 8,000 pulse per mile up to 128,000 pulse per mile to make the new computer happy. There's your, I don't know if you can probably see that very well. So there's the new OBD2 serial data port. And the check engine light is wired up to the new computer as well, and it's on right now. Both O2s are saying it's running rich. Don't know why. I don't really care at this point. So yeah, it's been good. This thing's been sitting around a long time, so I'm gonna blow the cobwebs out of this thing. But it's nice to be able to start driving it again. Got 35s now. I had 33, so we had to do some hacking out of the homemade bumpers and the homemade tube sliders here. We had to open the wheel wells all up. So it was a full 3-inch exhaust, 2.5 into 3-inch, and I started out with a lot bigger muffler, and then just for shits and grins, I mean, I built the whole exhaust system with V-bands, so I could quickly drop that muffler out and then weld a little extension on this different muffler, make it the same length, so I could just slide it up in there and tighten up the 2 V-bands. So now I got this little rattler muffler. It's like a little bullet muffler. There's hardly anything to it on the inside. It's just like a wedge on the inside, and it's loud. but it sounds great, I think. I found an old GM sticker out of the door jambs of the old 80s cars. They had these aluminum stickers. I found this reproduction one, and then I just had a little powered by sticker made, so it's kind of cool. So, yeah, I was trying to reach the gas pedal to see if I could rev it up, but I can't. I'm too short. So, see if I can get a little bit of it, what it sounds like here. It's pretty noisy. I'm sure it's pissing off the neighbors. That's what we want to do, though, right? So yeah, now this is done. It's the old truck. It's my old '87 V30 that I bought off a guy that bought it in Kansas, and then the guy he bought it from bought it in Washington State, where it originally came from. And this guy I got it from drug it all the way back to Michigan here, and it's a really nice truck. It's first year of the TBI, so it's just a TBI small block, though. It's only a 350. I didn't want a big block. I have another big block truck out back that they're a lot of fun, but they're extremely inefficient, to say the least. So I like being able to just drive this thing. Obviously it's got to work a little bit harder to tow all these toys around and stuff. But I sourced a 12 valve Cummins for this thing. It's just a matter of I have to pull it out of the truck and round it up, and I just got to figure out what to do for a transmission. I'd like to probably leave it in automatic. I don't know what I'm going to do. It depends on the price of the adapters that I'm going to have to go with. I mean, I don't know if I should do a 4L80 or what. That's what I'd like to do. It's got a turbo 400 in it right now. There's no sense in keeping that with a no lockup converter, no overdrive. It gets bad enough mileage with 410 gears. But it has a 205, a round front pattern 205, so I'd like to keep that, obviously. And Dana 70 in the back and a 60 in the front, so it's should be set right up for diesel power. So I'll keep you posted about that project. That ought to be fun. Then at some point I got to this winter start working on this thing. Get all this crap off of it. I don't need to take the whole cover off, but the old 72 Chevelle. This was my dad's car, and he passed away, unfortunately, at a far too young of age. So it's kind of a family heirloom. Got more sentimental value to this old girl than about anything I own around here. So, but like you always do when you hop in a car like this, I was riding the shit out of it and on the road right in front of my house, and I slammed her in the second gear and I blew something apart inside the tranny. So I don't know what it feels like. The cluster gear broke, and I just rebuilt that transmission not that long ago, so that's really great. Yeah, yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad of a deal. Just drop that little bugger out and probably throw a couple hard parts at it and put it back together. See if I can get this thing open. So it's just a little 350 small block. Nothing. I don't really want to do anything more with this old car, because I know myself, and if I put too good of a running motor in this thing, I'm just going to wrap it around a tree, and I'll never forgive myself. Yeah, there's a reason why this car is still around, I think, because it's always had a small block. But it came, when we got it, it had it was all painted orange and all flashy and chrome, and it had a radical camshaft in it. Just it was a really stubborn car to just go for a little cruise around town in. It was something you drove for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes and just put it back in the garage. So and it was tired, leaking oil. So I took it down and rebuilt it. Used all the same stuff. It's still got the old Camelback heads on it with the small intake valves. Nothing fancy. Put a different intake on it, a Edelbrock air gap. But it's got a lot milder camshaft in it now. So it's it's got good brakes now. So it's got a lot more manners. My mom drives it here and there. My little brother likes to drive it here and there, and they were both okay with me making the car a little more tame, a little bit slower, but nicer to get up on the highway and go for a nice cruise with it. So the car originally had 410 gears, and a long time ago I blew the rear end apart, and when I went to put it back together, my boss had a set of 342 gears just sitting around, so I said to hell with it, and which that obviously made the car, a whole lot less more fun, but and a lot nicer to drive over long distances. So I don't know, it's a cool little car. I like it. It's a little rough around the edges and chips and scratches, and so got to be it's a driver. So this is just some stupid car that I'm flipping. Had to put a motor in. So we're doing pretty good with our collection of LS motors back here. We just picked up this LQ4 6-liter, and there's another LQ4 over there. I've just been these things pop up for $200, $300, $400. I just buy them. I don't even have a plan for these things. But there's those Gen 4 5.3 down there. Heads off it. This is another Gen 3 5.3. That was a good running motor. And there's one of those silly 8.1 liter motors over there, which is just a fun little decoration just to talk about. Anyways, yeah, I will. I'd like to post, maybe rig up this camera or whatever and do a video of me driving it around. I want to. We're going to be going wheeling with the thing more here. We're going to be going to a couple of off-road parks here coming up shortly, so maybe I'll see if I can take some video of it actually finally getting out wheeling with it with that new motor. I haven't really done it, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, thanks for watching.